said to be one of the most important events of the summer, if not the year. What are we talking about? Hi, good morning, Neil Sean here in the very heart of London. Nice to have your company today as ever. And as ever, we'd like to welcome all brand new subscribers to the channel. Really nice to have you. Hope you're all feeling welcome. And for all those that have been with us from the start, our friendly community group, don't forget to make others feel as welcome as we like to make each other. I sound a bit like a sermon, don't I? know, but truly, thank you for joining us. I hope you're all keeping well. This particular story, though, really is gaining a lot of traction because, as we know, when anybody reaches a certain age, it's always a bit of a milestone, isn't it? I'm dreading it myself, of course. Yeah. What do you mean you don't believe me? We're talking, of course, about the forthcoming summer jewel party of the Duke and Duchess of Cambridge, which is set to be a very spectacular, glittering event, as all royal events are. And everybody will be casting an eye over to see exactly who's invited, because it's one of those things, isn't it, that it's a real parameter of who's in, who's out. I mean, we told you recently about the ITN newsreader, Tom Bradby, and he was in, but apparently now he's out. And they fell out because, of course, of that South African tour, where, according to alleged sources, Prince William felt that it was inappropriate, the questioning and the way that those particular interviews were dealt with Harry and Meghan. It does seem strange, doesn't it, that that sort of thing can cause a life's friendship just to disappear overnight, but seemingly it has. And then, of course, you know, there's the other thorny topic, isn't there, of whether you invite certain family relatives who perhaps are not necessarily as in favour as you first thought. You know who we're talking about there. Interested again. Now, of course, all eyes will be on the fact that will Prince William and Catherine decide to invite Prince Harry and the former cable TV actress Meghan Markle. But apparently that solution could be already solved for them, and let me explain the reasons why. As we now know, Harry and Meghan have decided to make their home, at least for a short period, out in Montecito. But also spies are saying that they really would now like to relocate on a further sort of bigger basis out to New York City, where they feel it could drive their brand even bigger. I'm not quite sure what their brand is or what they're driving, but nonetheless, most people seem to think that New York City is the place to be if you want to make something work. So because of this, and because of the fractious relationship that's still ongoing, which we sort of witnessed in all of its glory at the recent Platinum Jubilee celebrations, particularly at St. Paul's Cathedral for the Thanksgiving service, where, you know, you couldn't ignore each other any more, could you? I mean, it was that obvious. Well, according to that good source, Prince Harry has been tentatively putting out feelers as to how Prince William would feel if they were to send a personalised message to the birthday celebrations if they were unable to attend. I think this is a very clever move actually by Harry and Meghan, because obviously, you know, they can send the message and say they've done the right thing, but more importantly, would it really get screened when you think about it in a big ballroom or even at an outside event in Windsor Castle? I mean, it's going to be very tricky, isn't it, because it's a bit of a showstopper. I can't imagine other people doing the same. Maybe they would, world leaders and things like that. I'm not totally sure. But that apparently is the forthcoming plan of Harry and Meghan, to make sure that they at least can offer their good wishes for that wonderful celebration of 40 years old each. And let's not forget, of course, they can't do it via social media because they find that toxic and a bad influence and all those sort of things that they've often repeatedly spoken about. So the only other way they could do it would be to put a special message on their Archewell webpage, but that apparently is seemingly just for business. And as I'm sure you'll agree, it's quite cold too, just to do it like that. So will William be the lucky recipient of a lovely, warm, welcoming and possibly forgiving message from Harry and Meghan at this summer's spectacular double birthday celebration? Neil Sean in the very heart of London.